Hi everyone, today we're talking about the hips. If you've got hip arthritis, hip impingement, stiffness and pain around the hip, or even tears in the musculature around the hip, this video is for you. Now the key to having healthy and pain-free hips for life is by maintaining good internal rotation to at least 40 degrees, good external rotation of your hip to at least 90 degrees, and having full knee to chest range of motion at least 150 degrees. These need to be all pain-free and full range of motion. So in order to keep optimal hip flexibility, these are the stretches I like to show people. They are easy to follow and are very effective. Now these stretches will help keep your hips supple and flexible for life. The first stretch is the quadriceps stretch, where you're pulling your foot up to your bottom. Chest is up tall, knees are together. Do not let the knee you're stretching float out in front of the other knee. Keep it back. If you look down at both of your knees, they need to be level. Posteriorly rotate your pelvis and turn on the buttock of the muscle that you are stretching. Squeeze that buttock muscle tight and you should feel a big stretch from your thigh all the way down to your knee. This is not only good for hip pain, but also knee and lower back pain. Now for the second stretch, be in a seated position, put your foot high on the other knee. Now the aim for this stretch is to bring this knee as close to the opposite shoulder as you can and then turn into the stretch. You're gonna get a very nice stretch into your gluteal or hip muscles. Now I'm trying to bring this knee up to that shoulder. You'll feel a big stretch in your buttock and hold for at least 30 seconds. It's a big stretch. Now for this stretch, you want the opposite leg to be facing straight ahead, not twisting in and not going out too far. So foot on opposite leg, right leg facing dead ahead, pull knee, opposite shoulder, turn chest to the other way. Breathe deeply in and out for these stretches. Keep your chest up nice and tall. Now for the next stretch, we start in half kneeling, chest facing forwards in the same direction as your knee, lunging all the way forwards. Trying to get this knee over the toe while the back leg stays where it is. You should feel a big stretch on the front of your hip in your hip flexor muscle. Chest up nice and tall. If you don't quite feel it, lift up your other arm, the same arm on the same leg you're stretching, and squeeze your right buttock muscle on. Going straight over your toes for the front leg, chest up very tall. Switch on your buttock muscle, tighten it up, hand straight up. Should feel a nice deep stretch in your hip flexor. For the next stretch, we put our knee at 90 degrees. Chest up tall, lowering all the way to your shins. This is a piriformis stretch where you're stretching deep inside your hip muscles there. Chest up tall, lowering as far down as you can, making sure you're not lifting this knee or the foot. They're staying flat down. You're going all the way down, not slouching at the spine. Chest up tall and going all the way down. 30 seconds, deep breaths in and out. And whatever you do for one side, do for the other. 90 degrees, chest up tall, leg stays flat on the bed, reaching all the way down to your shins without flexing your spine. Now, if you're having trouble maintaining a big, wide sumo squat, this next stretch is for you. People who struggle with this also tend to get back pain. So we're going into the splits and shifting your hips all the way back until you feel a nice stretch in your groin muscles, holding for 30 seconds. Now, if I shift my elbows down to one side, I'm gonna stretch the left side more. And if I shift away from you, I'm going to stretch my right side more. Now the couch stretch stretches your hip flexors and your quads and helps correct hyperlumbar lordosis, where your back is curving inwards. Some people refer to this as a sway back. So this stretch may even help with your back and hip pain. Put your knee quite close to the undersurface of the sofa. Put your foot comfortably on top, chest up nice and tall. Try to bring your buttock back to your heel. Tuck your pelvis under into posterior rotation. Clenching your buttock is a nice way to think of this too. You should feel quite a big stretch going down into your thigh and up to your hip flexor. Now I prefer the couch stretch right up against a wall. I'm going to put my knee right against a wall and my foot up against a wall. Chest up tall and really bring my bottom back to the heel and my shoulders back to the wall. Again, a nice big stretch in my quads, really thinking of posturally tilting my pelvis and turning my buttock on. The couch stretch is a great stretch for back pain. It is great for lengthening the spine. Now, no video on hip pain is complete without saying you need to be able to get a full deep squat to access full range of motion in your hips. If you don't, it means some areas of your hips are not getting accessed. Joints need movement and compression for lubrication, and if there are some areas of your hip which you just do not use because you are not getting full knee bend or hip bend, then there are likely areas of your hip which are stiff, weak, and are lacking good circulation of synovial fluid to keep your hip joints healthy. So do learn how to squat deep. I made a full-length video on it, which is linked right here. Thanks so much for listening. I hope this was informative and helpful. Like, subscribe, and share.